Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Anastasia, and if this is your first time here on my channel, I'm a nail technician with 15 years of experience, and today we will be talking about top 10 beginner's mistakes. I'm really excited because I haven't done any live streams for a while, so I'm really excited to see you all here. So if you can see and hear me clearly, please let me know, and also let me know where you're watching from, because this is always so exciting to, all of us nail enthusiasts and nail technicians together, just at one place and to chat with each other. Okay, so now I will switch to a different view, which will look like this. So I will be here in the corner, and because I want to show you a presentation about the top 10 beginner nail tech mistakes. So you can see this information, and then I will switch back to another view again, and we'll have some time to answer your questions. Hello, Austria, Albania, Montenegro, Azerbaijan. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. All right, so all these things, they're not just some mistakes. I mean, obviously, when we're getting started and when we learn something new, we make many mistakes. Like, it's not possible to just skip that. But there are certain things that I decided that the most important right now, like in 2020. So I just chose the top 10. And if I knew it 15 years ago, if somebody told me like, hey, Anastasia, you shouldn't do this or that, I mean, I would definitely will save some money and, I mean, probably some clients. So here we go. The first one is that your education doesn't end in beauty school. It's actually only the beginning. So if you are in North America, then usually you need to go to beauty school to get license, like you have to do it. But once you get the license, then you start being a nail tech in the real world. And this is a place where you will have to deal with the clients who have different ideas and nail art they want to get from you, and you need to keep up with the trends, So usually, like in my head, the traditional scheme was something like that. So first we go to school, right, for like a few years. Then we go to college, or we may not go to college, doesn't matter, and then we have a job. So it always worked like this, we're just used to it. But if you're a beauty or nail technician, it's a little bit different, because no matter how great your beauty school was, once you finish it, then after 1 or 2 years, there will be new products, new techniques, new things, new nail art trends, and you just need to keep up with them. Because if you will be using the techniques that were out there like 10 years ago, they changed so much. Like when I started in 2004, there was no such thing as polygel or gel polish or dual forms. I mean, there was not even such thing as cover pink acrylic or cover pink gel. We actually used transparent pink to do this nail bed, and I remember there were clients with the really short nail beds, but they still wanted to have this French style design. So what I did, I took like my nude powder, like for the face, and foundation, and mixed it with the powder, and it became something like cover pink. So that's why I think it is very important to just keep on learning if you really want like to stay on top and to get new clients. So how to do that? How can you keep up with the trends? Well, first of all, it's really easy now. Like I always keep saying that, but I'm really jealous of you guys if you're just getting started right now, because now you have all opportunities to learn from anybody. I mean, we have social media, we have internet. It's so easy now, because back in the days we had to go to the beauty show and to meet people like in the real world, and if you live somewhere far, then it's almost impossible for you. You have to travel. And now you just simply take your phone, you open Instagram or YouTube, like we're interacting with you guys right now, and that's it. So you can follow your favorite nail gurus or companies on social media. You can attend live or online classes, and I recommend you to do that at least every 6 months, which is twice a year. And I mean, that's not much, right? if you can do that, I mean, trust me, you will always have enough clients. Okay, it seems like I'm blocking the third one for you guys, so I will become smaller for a while. Well, this is, yeah, actually my favorite phrase: never stop learning. And this is not, I'm just not saying that because for some reason. I am doing that myself. Like, I didn't realize that after a few years, because I met a nail technician. She was really in the field for a long time, like almost 20 years. And she said, hey, Anastasia, you can just take some classes, and then it is better to work so you can earn money instead of spending them. And it made sense to me. I was like, well, actually, yeah, why should I spend money instead of making? That seemed wise to me at the time. But now I realize that it's not right, because, I mean, in business terms, actually, if you are learning something, you are investing in yourself. I mean, you will be able to make more money from that in the future, well, if you will do it wisely, right? Let me guys know if you agree or disagree. Okay, so the next one is the one you really asked me to highlight at this live stream, is safety rules and self-protection. So this was not this year, just started last year. I went to a cruise, and what do you think is the first thing they do once you embark? Well, I mean, obviously, once you enter the ship, they like welcome you. They maybe give you some cocktail. They show you where's your room, where's your cabin. But then once we embark, they also give you some, printed what to expect. But then there's a safety drill, which is like a must attend. You cannot just skip that. They are actually knocking at your door, and I mean, everybody wants to, drink, party, just hang out, but no, you have to go to the safety drill because it's important. You need to learn where the bows, how to evacuate in case of something happens, because this is just part of the program. When you go to the gym, or when you learn to do skateboarding, like a snowboarding, the first thing you learn is how to actually fall, safety rules, right? So I think when you are getting started with nails, it's also important to start with safety rules. I mean, that does make sense, right? So I think it should be really first thing you learn, even if you're just doing it for yourself, like at home, because it's still possible. By painting, some designs on your nails with gel, if you still might get allergic reactions. So I think it's important stuff, and you should not skip that. So threats that nail technicians have, well, first one is allergic reactions, and next one is back, shoulder, wrists pain, because once you work with the clients for the whole day, you might experience some pain there. Also, we need to know about product safety, and the really simple rule that you need to follow is to avoid any kind of contact with the skin. And when we're just getting started, we're usually so excited about trying it all, about just doing stuff. We are not even thinking of how dangerous some things might be. One time I was at the beauty show, I think it was in Russia, and there was a girl who was painting such a beautiful nail art with gel, but she was mixing gels right here on her hand. I mean, that's really bad. I mean, you're not supposed to do that. And I just, politely asked her, why are you doing this? Aren't you afraid of allergic reactions? And she said, oh, don't worry, I don't have allergies. Well, the thing is that she does not have them at the moment. That's fine. I mean, some people, are allergic to everything, to cats and citrus products and everything. And usually they're already used to that, and they know they're protect themselves much better. But if you're not like that, if you're not allergic to everything, you also might think that it might something that will not happen to you, but this is how it works. Once you get a constant direct contact with the skin and a particular product, it still might happen over time. So it's better to protect yourself and never know what it is like, rather than deal with the consequences. So you need to use protective gloves, mask, ventilation system, and dust collector. And I recommend you to do that from day one. because it's really important. It's our health. It is that thing that we cannot really buy with money, right? So it is very important to take care of it. All right. So what else? Do not forget about your own health. What I recommend to do is to have any activity at least 2 times a week. We're always sitting, and when we're doing some nail art, we're not just sitting. It's usually not, the healthiest posture ever, right? We're also focusing our eyes on one small point. So obviously it's not great for our bodies. So if you will have any kind of activity at least 2 times a week, that will make it so much better. And it is better to find something that you like, that you enjoy. Maybe you're like swimming, or maybe you like playing tennis. I mean, it can be really anything, because, if you will pick something that you do not really enjoy, like some people I know, they do not like lifting weights. And if you will go to the gym, you will force yourself there for a while, but it will so hard to keep up with that because, you're just not enjoying it. So that's why just try to find something that you really like. Next thing is balanced diet. And I'm not talking about the diet, we need to get slimmer. I mean, it really depends on what your goal is, but just to have a balance, which means you need to have at least 3 meals during the day. Because sometimes when we have too many clients, too many things going on, we simply even forget to eat, and then we end up eating too much in the evenings. I don't know, let me know, guys, if some of you had this kind of problems, but I did. I mean, it happened to me so often, especially when I was, working with the clients during the holiday season or some other hot season. Drinking enough water is always important. So when you're working, obviously you cannot hold a mug or, a glass of water because, well, unless you're not ready to drink some nails cocktail with it. So I recommend just, keep this drinking bottle with you, just near your table, so you can always drink once you have some small room. Skincare. People who had problems with skin from the early days usually already know what you need to do to take care of your skin. They already taking care of it because they're just used to it. But people who didn't have this kind of problems, who somehow magically skipped these teenage skin problems, yeah, there are people like that. They're usually just not used to, taking care of your skin. So once you start working with nails, you definitely need to do that, because even though if you use all kinds of protection, like you're using a face mask, you're using gloves, you still might experience some problems. So do not forget about taking care of your skin as well. And of course, we need to rest properly and take vacations sometimes, even though if you feel like this job is your vacation and you just love doing it, I mean, that's great, but we'll still need to, do something else from time to time. All right. Wow. Oh, we have so many people here joining. So Afro is sharing, always at Christmas forget to eat too. Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's only for Christmas, okay. But yeah, hopefully it's not all the time. Okay. All of our monies are better for us if we spend them well, if we take classes from Master Nails, not from regular aesthetics. Arinda's sharing. Yeah, I agree. It's really important, when you're choosing a place or thinking whom you should learn from, you should really learn something that you can implement right away, something that you will, some skill that you can use today, right now with your clients, right? Because the faster you will do it, the faster you will have this, return of investment of the money you invested in this class, and then make even more. Okay, so what you should do. Research all topics related to safety. And I strongly recommend Doug Schoon books and articles. They're really great, and he writes and shares and records videos a lot about this topic. So I highly recommend to do that. Also, you need to protect yourself in all ways from day one. I actually have a couple of videos about that on my channel, about how to protect yourself from dust and things like that. So, I mean, it's hard to do it once you do not feel any threat at the moment, but it is so much better to prevent all these things rather than deal with the consequences later. So, like, I really encourage you to do that. I mean, it's important. So I myself did not had like really bad allergies, because this is actually one of the mistakes I thought I didn't do among those 10. But the reason I did that, it's not like I was super educated or anything. I just had a few close friends like that I was studying together with, and there was one girl, I mean, her skin was literally terrible of these allergies. I've seen it like myself. She couldn't really work or do anything, and it looked really scary. So that was, like a live reminder to me. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I will protect everything. So what she did, she was doing acrylic nail art, and once she started, she got into nail competitions really fast. So she was basically working maybe like 10 hours a day with acrylic, and she was not using protective gloves. So, and this is what happened. So after that, she started using protective gloves. She filed off all of her acrylic brushes. We reapplied the top coat on them because the wooden handle, it absorbed the monomer. So when she was holding the brush, it was always in contact with her skin. And luckily, it went away. But yeah, that was really scary. All right, so next mistakes is setting your price below average. And if you're working in the nail salon, you usually just, they already have the prices that you should work with. But if you're on your own and you set your price for yourself, I strongly recommend you do not set it like way below average. And here's why. So if you do that, you will attract clients that are looking for a certain price. So let's just take an example. Like you decided to charge $20 for a full set, which is, well, it depends on the place, but I assume in most places it's still extremely low. So clients who will be coming to see you, they're ready to pay $20, but they will never pay $30. Usually it's like that. So once you raise your prices, the majority of them will leave, because when we are started, we just do not feel confident. We're like, well, I'm not a professional yet. I cannot charge as a professional. So I'm going to start it, low. And then when I'll get, more experience, better, then I will slowly raise them. But unfortunately, that is really hard to like make it, because once the clients are really comfortable with your $20, they're not willing to pay $30. So as the result, we might get disappointed with our job. And once we change the prices, then you need to start over and attract new clients from zero. So what I recommend to do is to at least set an average price first, or above average. It depends on you, on the place you're working. All right, so then you will attract the clients that are ready for this kind of prices. And I mean, also, if your price is too low, you will not be able to make enough money to attend new classes, to buy more products, to buy quality equipment. Hence, you will not be able to provide a better service. So you will not really have this opportunity even to raise prices. So don't do that, okay? Because I did that and it was terrible. All right, Sherry is saying there are clients who sit down and get their treatment and afterwards just don't want to pay. They want the fullest for free. What to do that? Oh my God, Sherry, that's terrible. And trust me, only clients that, well, okay, in the like spa salon that charges like $150 for full set, they will not act like that. Like, trust me, I really know that because I actually had this situation, I think it was actually twice. And I mean, if you're in the salon, well, that's easy. You just call the manager or something. But if you're on your own or you're at home, well, there's not much you can do, right? I mean, if you already did the job and they're like refused to pay. So I had that one time, well, she's not really like refused to pay. She just said, I'll pay you, well, my full set was like around $40 back then, and she was like, I'll pay you 10. I was like, what? Why 10? I mean, it costs 40. And she was like, well, I think that's how, that's how much I should pay. So I just said, okay, just forget about it. You can just leave, and I will never, make another appointment. So this is what I did. Okay. So here's the simple explanation. So here are two ice cream cones, right? Well, we all can imagine what cones look like. So on the top of the cones, let's just start with the lowest price possible. What is the lowest price you've ever seen for the full set, actually? Well, I think it's about, no, actually in Russia you can find some places where it's like $10. Okay, so $10 for a full set will be our top of this cone. Okay, and you see there's one with the chocolate and the one with the caramel. So let's do the caramel one will be our clients, and the chocolate one is for nail technicians, us. Okay, so nail technicians who are charging $10 for the full set, and there are clients who are willing to pay $10 for a full set. All right, so there are like many of them. Well, actually, I hope not as many. But anyways, there are more people that are charging less compared to those who charge more. Okay, so then as we go down, there next like level of the price where nail technicians charge $20 and clients who pay $20. Then at $30 and $30 and so on. So at the very bottom is the highest price possible for a full set, and I have no idea which it is. Let me know, guys, what is the highest price you've ever seen. I believe, well, actually I heard about this manicure that Mariah Carey did for like $10,000, but I think it was not the, like, maybe the service itself. It was because of this was some really rare nail polish made of diamond dust or something like that that was applied on her. Okay, let's just do 10K. I don't know if it's the like realistic price, but anyways, so it is in the bottom, which means there are not as many nail technicians who actually charge that much, and there are not as many clients who are willing to pay that, but they're still there. So, and these cones, they're always parallel, right? So clients who are willing to pay $10, they will not go to the nail technicians who are charging 10K, right? That's just not how it works, and the opposite is true as well. That's the easy explanation of how the price range works. So if you're charging around like 20 to 40, you will attract the same clients. So once you want to go to the next phase, you need to change something about your service. Maybe you can provide just a better quality of service, or a better designed salon that you're working with. Just think about what you can actually offer to go to this, another level. Oh wow, we have 60 euros in Italy for gel nails. In Aruba, the highest for a full set is 180. Oh wow, that's not bad, right? 180 for a full set. I mean, doesn't sound like price to me. $25 for my first full set, and they were terrible. Rushed, sloppy, and the machine was sloppy. If the prices are too low, I'm actually afraid to get them done. Veronica, exactly. There are actually people who will never ever go to a place that is actually charging $25. They're looking for something else, something maybe in the middle of the cone or at the bottom. So, just think about it. So if you're charging 20, it's not that, I mean, even if you're like super talented, even if you have the best products, even if you're invested in your education and your great nail techs, the clients who are willing to pay $100, they will just not find you, right? Because this is not how you set yourself. I hope it does make sense, right? All right. Price cones. This is how I call them. I don't know. I think it's just easier to get this explanation once you imagine an ice cream cone. All right, so let's go to the next mistake, which is not investing time in practicing. So theory is very important. It is important to know how our nails grow, how the product works, product chemistry, all that. It is quite important. But only practice will actually help you to achieve results. Okay, I need to jump from here, and that's what clients are looking for. Because, I mean, obviously the practice is actually the result that will your clients see at the end. Because I've met nail techs like that, especially now in our digital age, because YouTube, all these digital books, Kindle, it's everything, information is now easily available, so it's pretty easy to get information and to learn it. But some people simply forget that you also need to practice. So let's just imagine what would happen if for any design or technique you ever watched on Instagram or on YouTube, you will invest at least 30 minutes to try it. I mean, you'll be able to improve your skill really fast, right? I mean, just imagine that. Well, obviously, you probably do not want to try every single design you see on Instagram. I mean, there are some, we just scroll and you're like, oh my God, what's that? But at least, the one you like, the one you adore, you're like, oh my God, like I wish I could do something like that. So this is how our brain works and tricks us. When you're watching some nail art, some videos that you like, especially if they're really motivating, you're like, feel really, motivated, and, your brain actually receives this information, and, you feel happy. Then I probably should watch more videos to get more motivated and feel more happy. And your brain kind of thinks that you already did that, but you didn't, right? Because you haven't tried yet. So do not forget that you also need to try everything that you learn, because we all want the result. So here's a very simple example. We can see like a beautiful ballerina here, and I myself really enjoy watching ballet. Actually, not as much at the moment, but I used to. And I also, like these different videos. Recently, I found one. There was like a day in the life of ballerina. It was really cool. I mean, she was like it was also really surprising that she actually does her makeup by herself. How she does all this, training like every day, 8 hours, practicing and all that. So I can say, I mean, I know something about ballet. It's not like I'm an expert, but, I know something. But do you think I can do something like that? I mean, no, not even close. I cannot, because I only watched it. I never attended a single ballet lesson. So, that's how it works. So don't fool yourself just by getting too deep into theory that the practice is something that will just come, because it's not. You really have to invest in more time in practice. All right, the next one is trying all at once. And you probably heard these expressions, jack of all trades and master of none. And I know that there are many schools that require you to learn everything. That in their program they cover nails, aesthetics, hair, I don't know, maybe lashes, brows, skincare, something else. And it's fine. I mean, if we remember our days back in the school, we actually also learned many things we do not necessarily use today. Like we learned math and literature and what else was there? It was a long time ago. History, biology, chemistry, all that stuff. But I mean, if your profession today is not related to, chemistry it is a little bit, right? We're nail technicians. But okay, maybe you do not use math today, but that's fine because you needed that to, generally understand all these things. So the same thing with beauty education. If you had to attend this general education, it's fine. But once you start working, I strongly recommend you to pick one field first. Because let's face it, it's not possible to be an expert and like really a great expert in few things like hair and nails and brows and lashes. I've never seen anybody like that. I mean, you probably heard, what's his name, Guy Tank. I believe that's the guy that does this beautiful hair coloring. I mean, he only does that. I did not see him doing anything else. I even believe he only does that, within the hair industry. So it's okay if you want to do pedicure and manicure and extensions. I mean, within nail industry, it's fine to have like a few different services. But when it's nails and hair and skincare, well, I really believe that's too much, because you will have to invest into more products. You will have to invest in all that kind of education, and every field is growing really fast. So it's almost impossible to keep up with everything. But if it will be just one, instead of making many steps in all the directions, you will just take many steps in one direction, and then it will grow really fast. So I myself, I do not do pedicure. I never learned it. So I know some theory, but that's it. So I only do extensions, manicures, and nail art, and not as much nail art also. So I just decided to keep up with this part, and it's up to you which one do you choose. Like I said, it's okay if you will use different techniques, different products, just not. That's my opinion, like everything in today's live stream. I mean, it's okay if somebody will not agree to it, but if you really want, to succeed, to get the results, you should definitely pick that one. And if you will take a look at any blogger, influencer, or any popular beauty guru, that's how we call them today, right? You will see that they're all special within only one field. Okay, so yeah, this is how we'll look when we try to do multiple things at once. Next one, and I know that some of you are definitely guilty of that one, buying too much stuff. And with our age of consumerism, once we open social media or Google anything, it's everywhere. Like, buy this, buy that, get that. You definitely need that product and this product, and order now, subscribe now, upgrade your subscription. I mean, it's almost impossible to ignore that. And most of us are like a little of shopaholics, right? And even our favorite like influencers we watch, they also like, oh hey, I tried this new great product, you should try it. And I know how hard it is to get with this tension to buy more stuff, but this is wrong in terms of business, right? You only need to invest and to buy things that you specifically need at this moment, and that's it. So here's the simple rule you can try, which is don't buy things you don't even know how to use. Because I've been to nail salons and homes of some nail technicians, and it was really funny when I was just looking through their shelves, and I'm like, oh wow, that's like beautiful, what it is? And she's like, honestly, I have no idea. I just seen it on a nail show and I liked it. And also there was another funny story. So I was really looking for these special clips for dual forms, and I asked my friend if she got them, and she was like, no, I'm sorry, I don't. But then I actually saw it in her nail salon, and I was like, oh my God, you got them, why didn't you tell me? And she was like, oh, those are clips for dual forms. Like, she didn't even have idea what it is, but for some reason she had them. So I recommend you to not do it, because I mean, that just doesn't make sense economically, right? So no shopping before going to beauty school, and try to buy things that you really need, like right now. When you will expand, when you will grow, if you have tons of clients, it's okay to invest into equipment, to more colors. But if you don't, then I really recommend to not buy everything, because products like gels, gel polishes, even acrylics, they all have their expiration date. And if you're staying in this industry for long, then they will expire one day. And also, sometimes we think, all right, that was such a special deal, I will just keep them for later. And what happens that trends change. Like, remember there was this boom of chrome powders. Everybody wanted these beautiful chrome nails. But then, after a while, nobody wants them anymore. But there goes the next big thing. Like then there's foils and something else. And now what's been there? Like 3D French trend, or these bubble nails. Like trends change so fast, and it's not possible to predict them. So I mean, why buy things that you are not even sure you will use? Well, I've been into this industry for a long time, so I have to admit, yes, it actually happens that I had this certain things for design, and then 10 years passed, and the circle repeats, and yes, they're trending again, but they're not trending necessarily in the same way. Sometimes you still need a different color, a different type. So, just saving enough for the future generation is not really wise when it comes to products. And I know most people will not tell you that, because now most companies are selling brands products, and of course they want you to buy more, but I really recommend to buy only things that you really know that you will need. So yeah, if your small shelf looks like something like that you're actually at Nail Supply, then it is time to seriously think about it. Erinda, you're right. I've tried beside nails the makeup part, but could do it. We should choose. Yeah. So Erinda, and well, I mean, it's okay if you will try something and then realize that you like this even more. I mean, you just need to grow within one field. And it's also, I think it's okay if you will try different things, because how would you know that you like something if you don't try? But once you realize there's always something you're better at, there's always something you like more, so this is something you should stick with. I disagree to this. I like to buy everything I see and I like, because I love to know everything there is and doing. Am I not seeing the whole message? Okay. Oh, and doing experiments. Well, yeah, like I said, it's fine, and this is simply like my experience. And I mean, if you have many products, then obviously probably most tutorials you ever watch, you're like, oh, I actually already have that. So yeah, I mean, if you can go, this image is my paradise, so yeah, mine too. So yeah, I mean, I get it. And if you already have this kind of nail supplies, that's fine. This is just something I would recommend for getting started. But yeah, this is the design, advice. That's why I did not, just give you, okay, here are just 10 advice you need to follow. No, this is something, from my experience, and I try to explain why. I really wish someone would told me that. But we are all, in different situations and different countries, so some of them might not work for you, some of them will. And next one is, don't do anything for free, okay? Free nail art, hand massage, well, any part, because once you start offering some additional service for free, it will be considered as the part of the service, not like something, for free. And I will explain in a little. And by the way, I mean, we're not talking about some close people such as your children or your mother. I mean, that's fine if you do something for them for free, of course. So I think that free is okay only for models, because if you're working with like hand models, then you're specifically working with them in order to practice or to take a beautiful picture for your portfolio or your social media at the end. So it's fine, right? It's also okay if you do it for one time and you have to actually say it like, okay, so today you have a free nail art offer, but usually it costs, I don't know, $20, right? It's also okay if it's for a limited period of time, like for example, only this weekend or only until end of February, we have a special deal. So if you will do manicure and pedicure, you can get wax, like paraffin treatment for free. That's also fine. But it's also important to say it, right? So the clients will understand that it's just a limited time offer. Or if it's within some special deal, like the one I just mentioned, if you will, for example, do nail extensions and pedicure, then you can get some easy nail art, like stamping, for example, for free. So it's like an additional deal that comes in a pack, but it's not that it is always for free. Okay, because I personally got into the trap, especially when I was learning new things. I was willing to try new nail art and to try it on my clients. And since I just learned it, I didn't really feel like charging them for it. And then I realized that once I do that, they feel like I'm going to do that for free forever now. Okay, so that's something I also do not recommend to do. Next one is low quality equipment. And yeah, low quality is something that's really hard to define, but I really recommend at least invest in good quality equipment first. And I'm talking about electric nail file, UV, LED or hybrid lamp, dust collector, and sterilizer, the last one is. Because if you're working with electric nail file that is not powerful enough, then you might end up making your service longer. You will have this, because of the vibration, you might have this pain in the wrist. And I mean, just taking off all the product will take longer. It might take like 40 minutes instead of 10. So that's not wise, just spending more time on it rather than to invest a little more in a better electric nail file and forget about this problem. So I actually have a separate video on my channel about electric nail files, and you can watch it, and I specifically explain like what technical specifications you need to look for when shopping for it. The same with LED and hybrid lamp. So it should be at least 36 watts. If it's, this very small one for one finger lamp, then you will not get the result you expect. It will take you longer to cure, and it might not even fully cure at all. So this is not wise as well. Dust collector. There are some very dust collectors that are not really collecting the dust, because I had some, and it's kind of like, some air is moving and it is soaking kind of dust, but really not enough. So it's not really protecting us. It's, just looks like it's protecting. And the same thing with sterilizer. So there's some models. For example, we had one, a dry heat sterilizer. My friend had it in her salon, and then we decided to test it. So, well, luckily we had some friends in the lab, so they actually measured the temperature inside, and then it turned out that it was around 120 Celsius. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you what it is in Fahrenheit. Well, anyways, it's supposed to be 180 to 200 Celsius temperature in there, and it was like way lower than that. So that means it was not really working. It was not really cleaning the implements how it should. So I really recommend you to choose the one that will really work, because this thing is important. It's not just about having some beautiful equipment. It's about safety, right? And the same thing with all this other stuff, like electric nail file. If it's not powerful, if it's vibrating, then you will experience some pain in your hands after a while if you work with it for a couple of years. So I just told you not to shop too much, but when it comes to equipment, I recommend you to maybe even save some money first, but then invest into a good one, because this is really important. It's about health and about how well you start, because some things like gel paints or gels, when you're just getting started, it's almost impossible to tell the difference, right? So maybe like at the beginning it doesn't matter as much which one you should choose. But with electric nail file, when I'm doing a class for beginners, and they usually have their own electric nail file, so if it's not the one that they should choose, I usually give them mine so they can feel the difference, and they immediately feel it. They're like, wow, like the handpiece is, so lightweight, or wow, it's not vibrating. So this kind of difference you can feel right away, and it's better really to start off with a good one. Well, this is, just one example. So I actually started with an electric nail file that was not super cheap, but wasn't too expensive either. It was somewhere in between. And I don't really know why I choose that one. I forgot the name, guys. But it was definitely also not powerful enough, not the one I should choose, and it was breaking so often. So I had to bring it to the service station a couple times. So I ended up paying about the same amount I paid for it at the beginning. So after a year it broke, and I bought a new one, the same one for some reason. So then I finally bought the professional electric file. It was called Strong, but in North America this brand is called Nailcou. And I mean, that was like totally different. I was like, oh my god, finally I don't feel this crazy vibration, and it served me for 7 years. And I never had to bring it to the service station or anything. So that was quite a difference. And I think it's the same thing with some certain products such as gel or acrylic brush. Because, if your brush will also be a very low quality, then you will not get the result that you're looking for. So there are some things that really is better to start with high quality. Many other things, such as files, tape and dish, you can just buy more affordable ones, it's fine. But when it comes to the general products and special equipment, then it is really important to get the good ones. All right, so I believe this is, we have about 2 left, but then we'll have a special time for Q&A. So if you have any questions, get them ready. We'll dive in them real soon. Don't get too close with your clients. Being friendly is great. That's fine if you're being friendly. That's awesome, actually. But it's better to still keep that professional distance. Because when a clients become your friends, you won't feel comfortable to raise your prices. And when they feel like they're your friend, they also tend to ask for discounts or to show you a plate, all these things that friends do. So I actually did that mistake at the beginning because I was really trying so hard to provide a good service, to make an impression on people. So I was, if they were talking to me, I would talk about anything they want, and it's still fine, by the way. But I realized that sometimes I was just not keeping that professional distance that I should, and then I realized, oh my god, okay, I'm gonna raise their prices, and I know that she's gonna look me in the eye and be like seriously, and for me as well, the price gonna change. So in order to avoid that, it is better not to do that from the start. I believe this is the last one. Not working on your social media. When we're just getting started, usually this is something we not really think of. So I'm just getting started. I need to start working with the clients, get more experience, and then I'm probably gonna start working on my social media. And this is a totally wrong approach. You need to start at the moment that you just decided that you're probably going to do nails or hair or anything else. Or at least when you started in the beauty school. Because the earlier you start, the easier it will be to get the results. Because the later you start, the harder it will be. You probably know that. Social media is already kind of saturated. There are so many beauty techs out there. So it's better to get in as early as possible. So here's why I think this is wrong. So while you're standing by, your competitors are already attracting new clients through Instagram. And the best time is definitely now. And if you will decide that nails is not something you would like to do in the future, that's fine, that might happen. But you will already have this page, you will already have the skill on how to do posts, how to write text, how to maybe edit pictures. And you can implement the skill to any other occupation, so I don't see any disadvantages of this part. So it's really better to start off early. So when I started, there was no social media yet, but I created my website. And that was, by the way, the only thing I actually could do back then, because I was studying computer science. So that was the only thing, the only privilege like I had. I could build my own website, so I didn't have to spend money on it. And it worked pretty well, because back then there was not as many nail techs owning their own website. I mean, it was really cool. And I just started adding different pictures of my work, different price, price for my services. And then I realized, okay, so I have pictures, I have price list, I have information, I have address, but why would they come visit me? Why they should schedule their appointment? And I realized that I probably should add some valuable information. I should give value. So I added some articles such as, what is better, tips or forms, or gel or acrylic? Or does nail extensions actually ruin your nails? Just simple articles like that. And it worked great, because people, when they were searching in Google, does acrylic ruin your nails, they were easily finding my website. There was not as much information back then, so it was pretty easy to get on first page. Now it's not that easy, but I mean, it worked. So you need to start promoting yourself as early as possible, because there's a competition out there. So it's better to start right now. Okay, so here's an interesting example. If you do not have any page on social media yet, or some place where you can show what services you offer, like website. So just imagine that you went into the bakery, you just sit down, at the table, and the waiter is describing a great dessert that they have. We offer unique desserts with delicious and healthy ingredients, and then he magically describes some certain dessert, and you're like, well, I don't know. Well, if you're, the kind of person that, is audio, that you really like things through hearing, then maybe it will work for you. But usually when you see this, if you're into cakes, not all people are, you're like, oh my God, yes, I definitely want this. Because when you see the result, when you actually see it, it works differently, right? Our senses actually, oh my God, I actually can feel myself that I want this right now. So it works quite differently. And the same thing with your services. So when you just explain that, I'm a nail tech, I can do beautiful nails, I can schedule you an appointment, it's one thing. But when they see the result, whether it's your beautiful nails, or if they notice your beautiful nails when you're standing in the line of Starbucks and you're like, hey, I'm actually doing them by myself, and I can schedule you an appointment as well, and you just give them your Instagram handle, and they're like, wow, and they see your beautiful nails in this profile, and they realize that you're taking this seriously. This is not something that not just person decided that she's gonna do nails and tomorrow she will forget about it. No, this is serious. She's really dedicated. I mean, why not? That's actually a picture that was referred to the slide where not get too close with your clients. I mean, it's actually okay to feel like they're your friends, and if they feel like it, but like I said, still do not forget about this distance as well. So let's keep in touch, guys. If you're not following me on Instagram, I have the same name there. Nickname is Nailcou, which is actually short for Nailcouture, because this name was already taken away once I registered on Instagram, so I had to shorten it. And also I have online classes at nailsproacademy.com. I'm actually wearing their shirt now. I'm on Facebook, on TikTok, everywhere. So let's keep in touch. Okay. So if you will keep in touch with me there, that's also fine. All right. So now it is time for your questions, like I promised. So if you have any questions, you can ask them now and we can have a little chat. I actually missed it, guys, so much. I mean, I haven't been online I mean, live stream, you know, like that for a while when we can just talk. Okay, I will expand this window now. So, or maybe no, I can actually do that from here. I have. Oh, I see that you guys are talking about the dust collector. So yeah, I actually heard that Valentino is a very good one. Unfortunately, the one I'm using, it's like Russian, so I cannot really recommend that one. Okay, so I have to find some questions. Juliet is sharing. I ask my clients to send pictures of colors that they like. I use their suggestions along with colors that I personally want to wear when deciding which colors to purchase. Oh my god, that's genius. Wow, that's a great approach. I mean, I actually haven't even thought about that. That's actually awesome. So you're just not buying like most of us do, just, oh my god, I need that color. Yeah, that's very wise, because you know what I noticed? The funniest fun fact that, you know, most people still have their favorite colors. So I have this friend, she's really into this turquoise blue colors. And guess what? In her colors, she got tons of different blue, like cyan, light blue, dark blue, other kinds of blue, like a lot of them. And she obviously does not have as many pinks or reds, even though I believe most people, like clients, at least my clients, they were really into red and pink colors. So if a nail tech is attracted to a certain type of colors, it is pretty common that she will buy more of these colors, you know, just because she likes them. So that's an actually very wise thing to do, to like ask the clients what they want or they will like, and then you buy these colors like specifically thinking of that particular client. That's pretty cool. How far to go in investing nail art? Bernadette is asking. Wow, that's so. Luckily, nail art is not that expensive. Well, depending on what you want to buy. So I would recommend, you know, just start with, first of all, start with basic colors. So whether it's glitter or gel paints or anything else, you will always need black, white, silver, and gold. So these are like basic colors, and make sure that you have those. And then if you want to just try something, I mean, you don't even know yet if you will like it or if it will work, just try one or two colors. For example, chrome powders of specific brands. You don't even know if they're good enough yet or if you're going to use them. So just take gold and silver and just try them and see if you like it, if your clients like them, if they work, and then, you know, you can buy more. So it really depends on what you're going to do. Are your clients in nail art? Are they asking about it? Are they doing it? If the answer is yes, then it may be wise to actually invest more. If you do not know yet, that I would recommend to take it slow. I mean, it's pretty easy now. You know, it's not like we have a fair today and we need to buy all the products possible because tomorrow they will be gone. Everything is online. It's pretty easy to order. Well, for most of us, right? Depending where you live. So, I mean, I would recommend to just first write down like what exactly you need for, what kind of designs are you going to do, and then buy it. There's also many nail art kits that have a little bit of everything. So if you're just, you know, playing, just figuring it out, just learning, maybe buying these kits will also, you know, make sense. Good suggestion for practice hand. Well, the only practice hand that I have is the one from Red Iguana. It's really great for practicing and for taking pictures because it looks so realistic, like for photos or videos. But for practicing itself, I think it will more make sense to use a plastic one. And unfortunately, I cannot recommend one because I've never tried them. I myself am practicing product application on regular tips. So yeah, if anyone can advise for some good practice hand. So if your goal is to simply practice the product application, I believe, you know, that you can buy those affordable ones. From Tennessee, USA, love your channel. You helped me so much. Thank you, Lindsay. I'm really, you know, it really makes me happy once I read this kind of comments. Do you think it is okay to give only gel polish and polygel as service? Of course. I mean, I actually know many nail technicians who only do manicure and gel overlay, and that's it. Yeah, that's totally fine. You just need to advertise it in a certain way that you offer, gel polish and polygel, because with polygel you can do any kind of extensions. So yeah, that's absolutely fine. That actually will be your specialty, because there are not as many nail techs who do only that. So yeah, I don't see any reason why not. So if you are doing at least one type of extensions, whether it's hard gel or acrylic or gel, it's great. Is there a way to create a website for free? Yeah, there is the one which is wix.com. Let me see if I can type it in the chat. Yeah. Okay. Can you type wix.com in the message, because it doesn't work for me for some reason. Okay, wix.com. Yeah, so you can build it, yeah, for free. There are many others, but with this one is just, you just sign in and then you pick up the blocks. Well, your address will be like yourname.wix.com. So if you want to have like a direct domain such as I do nails, well, this one's probably taken, but I know my name is Amy, idonails.com, then you will have to pay for a domain name as well. But this one is a really easy one to use. Oh, thank you. As a beginner, would you suggest only specializing in one area, i.e. acrylics, or should I go learn hardwells as well? So yeah, if you're just getting started, I recommend you to start off with acrylic, and then you can learn how to do hard gel as well. And by the way, if you actually start with acrylic, it will be much easier for you to later master hard gel or polygel, because, well, to me, in terms of learning, acrylic is really the hardest one to master. Best affordable drill with light handpiece and low vibration. Lindsay, I have the video about it on my channel. So if you will search on YouTube for how to choose electric nail file and then write my name, Nailcou, I believe you will find it really easily. There's like the whole video about it. Can you tell something about one-stroke technique? Do you often use it? No, actually I don't. It was very popular in Russia quite a while, like everybody was into it. I took a couple classes for it because it was within the class I have to take as an instructor. I just personally do not like how this style looks. I mean, this is just mine. But it's not, it's really important to choose the certain brush and the certain product from it. And then you also need to practice in a certain way, because I remember I tried it once by myself and it, kind of worked. But when I tried it together with a tutor and she just, showed me how to pick up the color and everything, it worked much better. So I think it's a pretty cool technique and you can do many things with it. So, if you're interested in it, you like it, you definitely need to try it. But with this, as with many other techniques, and also it's just important to pick the right brush and the paints. And it's not that there's just one perfect brush for one-stroke techniques, because even one-stroke technique is different from any teacher. And so, like I said, I recommend you not buy it before you take a class. So if you will decide to take a class, whether it's online or live, then they will usually recommend a certain product they usually themselves teach you with, so you can master it better. Thank you. I still did not invest in nail art, and here in Montenegro they're asking for basic nail, but I feel it could be the one who will do nail art. Bernadette, that's a great idea actually. So if in your city nobody's doing nail art, yeah, that's actually a great opportunity for you to be the one, because if nobody's offering, then nobody will ask. I actually have the many examples of this kind of approach when nail technician is just learn some techniques from somebody else and implementing it in their place, in their country or city where nobody's offering anything similar, and it usually works pretty great. So yeah, that definitely might work. Is it better to have the file per client? Yes, I believe that's very easy and affordable thing to do. You just need to take the cost of the file and, include it in the cost per service, just into the amount of money you take from the client. And then you can whether throw it away or give it to a client. There is also some, I probably showed them in one of my videos, like, metallic files. Well, not files, like metallic part. And then you stick on abrasive, then you file it, and then you just take it off, just throw it away. So this is like a different way to make files single use, but yeah, I believe they should be. Can you get Tammy Taylor products in Russia? No, unfortunately, I never. Well, there are definitely no distributors, and yeah, I never heard about them here. I mean, I've seen them, yeah, in the U.S. But yeah, when I will get a chance to get them, I will definitely do a review, because I actually had a few requests about it, and I myself am pretty curious, because I remember this product even when I started. Like, it's this brand have been out there for a very long time. Favorite partnership? Is this a question? Well, if you're talking about like partnership with companies, well, it's really hard to pick one, because I only work with those that I really want to work. So, to me, like when I started doing YouTube or just working in the nail industry, so I was reviewing products. When I started the channel, I was doing tutorials, I was reviewing products. And then when I started doing partnerships, nothing really changed. I mean, I was doing the same thing. So before I was doing partnerships, I was, for example, I was like, okay, so I have these products, I take them, and then I show them, and then everybody was like, can you give me the link? Please send the link. And I cannot send the link, because I bought it somewhere in the nail show deep down in Russia. I even have no idea if they have an online supply. And, I felt really bad about it, that I cannot even share the link, because I know that you guys wanted to try it too. You wanted to have the same thing, but I just didn't have the link, because, I don't have it. So then I thought that would be nice if I could partner with someone one day, so I can actually have the actual links for you. And also one day I realized that I will run out of the products I already reviewed, so I will definitely need the new ones. So once these offers starting, come by, that felt really great, because I could review new collections, new things for you, and provide the links. So, this really happened so naturally, so it's not really possible to pick just one. I use for pro disposable adhesive, okay, that's the right name for it. Disposable adhesive grid pads for patties, manis, and enhancements. One use and throw it away. My clients appreciate it. I disinfect the stainless steel handles. Yeah, thanks, Julia. That's exactly the one I was describing. So yeah, you leave this steel handle and you sterilize it, but then you throw away this abrasive parts. How to avoid someone have AIDS and see it from his nails? Well, you cannot see it from the nails, but you cannot get AIDS just by touching a person. So, I mean, just follow all the safety rules that you usually follow when you work with the clients. Thank you that even when you post on Instagram, you post them in English. Sure, yeah, on my Instagram, I always have, even all my stories, well, most of them are both in Russian and English, as well as posts. Okay, so I guess that's it, guys. If you have a very last questions, this is the last chance to send it. And I enjoyed your company very much. Thank you so much for coming. And if you have any ideas for our next live streams or videos, always feel free to leave them. But it's better to leave them in the comments, okay? Not in this chat, because it will disappear when we will finish. But the comments will stay with me forever, so I can easily find them there. I find the paper sticks badly to the stainless steel handle. Do you know any tips for that? Tanya is asking. Well, actually, the ones that I tried were sticking pretty well. So I believe you should just find a different ones, because the one I tried, they were even hard to take them off. There's a brand, it's called Stalex, and I believe they're in the US already, so they're also offering this kind of stuff. They stick pretty well. Is there a light you would suggest from Amazon for nail table? That's a big issue I have. Finding a light bright enough without taking up a lot of table space. I've been using a long skinny light. So when I was in Orlando, there was this company that offered the light, and they were so great. But yeah, they were, well, maybe not too skinny, but they were long, so they were basically covering the whole table. But I forgot their name. So if you're really interested, you can search for, I believe it's on Nails Pro Academy YouTube channel, Orlando show, something like that. So there's a video, we even have an interview with them. So at the moment, there is not, I do not have any table lights I can recommend from Amazon, but since you ask, I will keep searching, because once I try any UV lamp or like LED lamp, you know, anything from there, I immediately add it to my list. So I have like my own page of my favorite products. I always add them there, but yeah, I don't have a table light yet. So maybe somebody can recommend. Do you know the brand Comilfo and Cody? Yeah, I heard about the first one, but I never tried it. But the second one, yeah, definitely have. I even have a video about their base, how it burned the client's nails. Yeah, this one, the second one, I believe is Ukrainian. It's pretty popular here in Russia and Ukraine. All right, some batches are stickier than others. I use alcohol to remove the residue. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with me and between each other as well. This was really fun. I hope you guys have a great Sunday and great upcoming week. Wishing you a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.